Hey guys, we're back in my good old plain room. And I know I've been promising this for a while, so I'm going to do kind of like a part 2 thing about how I came out and that stuff. And yeah, so I guess part 1 is going to be mostly about like how did I kind of figure out that I like girls. And I mean, I knew I had crushes on girls when I was about 5 years old. And this seems kind of crazy, but I did. I had crushes at 5 when I was in kindergarten, and it was on 2 girls in my class. One whose name was Riley, and another girl was Molly. And Riley was my first ever crush as a girl. And how I knew that is because I had a dream about her, and I was like a little boy, and she kissed me, or I think she kissed me. I don't know where, she kissed me, and I remember I woke up the next day and I was like, what does that even mean? And it was really weird because, for me in the beginning I always saw myself as a guy, but when you're little you don't really understand things. But yeah, and then my second crush, Molly, when she came around, she was in my kindergarten class too. It was whole like we were frenemies. Like, she was a real bitch. She was a horrible bitch. I hated her. Now I hate her, but then I thought we were friends, and I'd always take her by the door, and I'd almost tell her. I'd almost tell her that I liked her, but then it's like I chicken out because somehow in my brain I knew it wasn't right that girls like girls because I never saw it anywhere. So I always say, oh, we're still friends, hey, we're still friends. But I'd always think about her and hope that maybe one day we'd be together. And it just continued on from there. I started liking girls, first, second, third, fourth. I never liked guys. I don't think I ever started liking guys until I was in 8th grade. And that was when I had my first boyfriend. And it wasn't even really romantic. It was mostly friendship. But I did like him, I think. I did care about him in that way, I think. But yeah, that's when I realized I like girls. And figuring out how I'm trans, that was later on. That was around how old I am now, 17. Because I never really thought I could change into a guy. I never thought it'd be possible. Plus, I just didn't really know. So I'd always say, oh, well, maybe I'm bi, maybe I'm lesbian. I don't know what I am. I never knew. All I knew is that I like girls, I digged them, and I was hoping that they digged me, or I dreamed about how they digged me. And it was a crazy time, and I kind of always thought that my dad knew, because I just thought he knew because I never talked about boys and all that crazy stuff. But I almost came out to him once as bisexual, and because there was this girl, I went to go spend the night at my friend's house with two of my bromos, my best bromos that you've seen before in here, and we went to go spend the night at friends, and she had a friend who was bisexual, and she was very out there with it. She didn't give a fuck, and she was really crazy, no doubt about it, but she was free and carefree, and I wish I could be like that. And that weekend is when I came out to my friends, and I told them I was gay bi, and I told them I like girls too. I was scared. I didn't know what they would think, but they were totally cool with it, and they're cool with me wanting to be a guy too. They don't care. But when I told my dad, the first time I told him, it was very crazy. It was like, Dad, I met this girl, and she liked girls too. And he's like, well, he looked at me like, what are you trying to say? Do you like girls? And I stopped because the way he said it, like, he didn't like that. So I was like, no, I was wondering, I was curious, I didn't know. And he told me, he says, well, good. Because, in the Bible it says that you can go to hell for that. And he tells me, if you were ever like that, I'd kick you out and you wouldn't be in my family anymore. And that hurt to hear. And so from then on, I said never to tell my dad that I was gay. That I, at the time, bi or whatever. I never decided to tell him that I like girls. And it was very hard for me because it was just a really hard time. because I had to hide who I really was, and I hated hiding the fact that I liked girls. And I thought my dad was one of the people I thought I could turn to for anything. I thought he loved me, and I thought everything could be possible with him. I thought, oh, once he finds out, he's gonna be like, oh, meet this chick, meet this chick, meet this chick. But no, it was the exact opposite, and it was really crazy. And when I came out to him, it was a very intense time, because I really didn't come out to him. My stepmother, my at the time stepmother, when he was still with her, told him before I told him. You know, she's like, oh, you have to tell him, but she told him on the ride. He's like, what? He says, you fucked up in the head, you know that? He goes, you know, because my aunt and uncle, and he's like, you know, they're not going to trust you with your little cousins. They're not going to trust you if they find out. You can't tell them nothing. This has to be between us. You can't do anything like that for clubs or like that, because people are going to judge you. And I knew the territory that came with it. But just hearing my father say that I was screwed up, that I wouldn't be trusted, it scared me. And knowing I wasn't really fully accepted, it sucked. And the thing was, my dad had a habit of acting. He acts a lot. And he said he accepted it, but I knew he really never did. He never really accepted it, and that was hard. And that's really how part 1 goes. I guess I should go because this is 6 minutes long, but yeah, the sad part of coming out, the really sad part. But yeah, you know, some people have sad times coming out to their parents, and coming out to my dad was very hard, and right now we're not talking, and it's really hard. But the second part, it comes to better parts, comes to good parts, and all that shit. So the second part, it's gonna be good. So, love you guys. See ya.